Welcome to the Infuse Your Future podcast, where we bring together people and ideas who are making the world a better place. I'm your host, Dr. C. In this podcast, you're going to hear solo episodes with various self-help topics. You're also going to hear guest speakers from all walks of life. If you're ready to experience the power of coaching, set up a complimentary 45-minute consultation with me at infuseyourfuture.com. And be sure to sign up for my mailing list for a free gift. Enjoy the show. Hey, everybody. Before we get into this episode, a bit of a celebration is in order. We've hit 50 episodes. It's hard to believe. I mean, when I started this podcast, I wasn't sure what direction it would take, but I trusted the process and put it out there. And I want to take this opportunity to extend a huge thank you to all of my guests. Every conversation has been interesting, and I have learned so much and met so many great people doing positive things in the world. I really hope you get a chance to check out their episodes and give them some love for putting their message out there. Okay, let's dive into today's topic, the power of self-belief. Believing in ourselves is so important. When we believe in ourselves and our dreams, we feel better, we function better, and we carry on even when there's adversity. Believing in ourselves harnesses our inner strength to unlock our vast potential. And when I say belief in ourselves, I'm not just talking about self-confidence. I'm talking about a deeply rooted understanding, a deep knowing that you have the capacity to achieve your goals. This is about trusting your instincts, embracing your strengths, and just knowing you have what it takes to succeed under any circumstance. It's about knowing you have the knowledge and the power to do or to learn anything you want. Without this foundational belief, even the most brilliant ideas and talents can wither in the face of challenges. I mean, consider some of the stories of history's greatest inventors and visionaries. You've got Walt Disney. Most people know him. Disney World, Disneyland, Disney movies, Snow White. But Walt Disney faced tremendous struggles. There's financial struggles, bankruptcy, extreme skepticism. Most people assumed that Snow White would fail, that nobody wanted to see a full-length cartoon. And how wrong were they? Franklin Delano Roosevelt, one of the US presidents, had polio. He was in a wheelchair. And yet he became the leader of the free world, the leader of the most powerful nation on the planet at the time. Superstars like Ed Sheeran, J.K. Rowling, Jennifer Lopez, they faced homelessness and poverty in their, before they became famous. And if you're a science buff, Stephen Hawking, he had ALS, he was wheelchair bound, couldn't talk, was on a breathing tube, and yet he made some really important contributions to science. These people faced countless setbacks and failures on their path to success. What set them apart wasn't just their intelligence or their resources, but their unwavering belief in their own abilities. They refused to be deterred by temporary setbacks, choosing instead to view every failure as a stepping stone towards their ultimate goals. Now, some of you are out there saying, look, I already know I don't believe in myself. That's not the problem. The problem is, how do I change that? How do I believe in myself? Because despite its importance, believing in yourself is something most of us struggle to cultivate. We live in a world of comparison, criticism, so it's easy to succumb to self-doubt and insecurity. And overcoming these internal barriers is essential for growth and success. Now, if you already believe in yourself, congratulations. And really, thanks for listening to this podcast anyway. And if you're struggling to believe in yourself and you want to change, this podcast is for you. Now, in my opinion, and what I'm going to talk about on this podcast is there's 5 essential components to building and strengthening belief in yourself. And those are: cultivate a positive mindset, be your own best cheerleader, surround yourself with positive, supportive people, have a strong peer group, set small, achievable goals that you can celebrate on a regular basis, and reframing failure. Okay, let's dive a little deeper into each of these things. So the most important thing, in my opinion, and honestly in a lot of people's opinion, is cultivating a positive mindset. This is a mindset approach. What is mindset? Mindset is what we're thinking. What are the thoughts going in our head? This means letting go of negative thoughts. Dr. Daniel Amen, who's a psychiatrist and works a lot with brain injury and brain healing, he has a mnemonic for this called ANTS, A-N-T-S, which stands for automatic negative thoughts. So basically, we want to monitor our ants and get rid of them. Monitor our automatic negative thoughts and get rid of them. Okay, what does this look like? Well, what it looks like is you start catching yourself thinking these negative thoughts. Because when we stop the negative loops, it puts our minds on a better course and leads to better outcomes. What we need to do is look at the situation objectively and step back from the emotion. We want to ask, what's the important information and what is it I'm thinking about it? Allow yourself to feel the emotion connected to the thought, and then reframe the thought around the situation to see how that changes how you feel. Then, how will the rest of the day or the evening go if you transition to the more positive thought? Let's give an example most people can identify with, right? Let's say you had a rough day. This could be a rough day at work, a rough day at school, a rough day with the kids, argument with your parents, whatever. Maybe you catch yourself thinking, God, today was awful. Everything went wrong. I'm just a huge failure. I can't do anything right. Now, when you're thinking that, how does that feel in your body? I mean, for most of us, it feels awful. It feels really low, depressing, makes us want to hide, disengage. And for some people, that might mean drowning their feelings in substances, drinking, smoking, whatever it is to get rid of the feeling. But what if we reframe that thought? For instance, instead, we could think, today was challenging, but challenges are opportunities for growth. There were obstacles that really tested my skills, tested my resilience. But by facing these difficulties, I'm learning more about myself and how to navigate tough situations. Tomorrow's a new day. I can approach it with a fresh perspective. Every setback is a chance to become stronger and more capable in my role. Now try to imagine how that feels in your body. For most of us, it's going to feel so much lighter, so much hopeful. Some of us might even be proud that we navigated the situation and hopeful that we'll find a solution to the problem. And then the result is, instead of hiding and self-medicating in a negative way, maybe instead we go read a book or do some research or go out with friends or in some way learn more about the challenge that we're faced with. So you can see in this reframed thought, the focus shifted from a feeling of failure and inadequacy to a recognition of personal development and resilience building. This emphasizes the temporary nature of setbacks and the potential for learning and growth from difficult experiences. Okay, number 2. The second powerful action step towards healthy belief in yourself is what? To be your own cheerleader. You know, we're all so busy criticizing every little thing we do. I mean, who would want to live with that? We're in our heads 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We got to be our own cheerleader. Now, of course, this is related to mindset, but is a little bit different. This is about complimenting yourself, celebrating your wins. When you focus on your strengths and your past successes instead of your setbacks and weaknesses, then you counteract the negative self-talk. You build a more resilient outlook. So let's go back to the example above. Say the specific example was you had an argument with somebody you loved and it spiraled downward. So here's what you do. Step back and look at the situation. Basically, it was just you and a loved one had an argument. Now check your thoughts. Note what they are, even write them down if you have to, and then create a more positive one. An example could be you say to yourself, you know, although we argued, I'm proud of myself for holding my boundaries. Or I'm proud of myself for staying calm, even though I felt like I was misunderstood. Then you would focus on all the times you've had an argument with someone and used it to create a stronger bond, a stronger boundary, or move forward on a tough situation in some way by resolving the conflict. Now imagine how the situation evolves differently the next time a similar circumstance appears. How are you going to handle it differently? What are you going to say? How are you going to respond? What will create a better outcome next time? Okay, third powerful action step is surround yourself with supportive friends, mentors, role models, anybody that will give you invaluable encouragement and validation. Now, importantly, you want to avoid the people who will commiserate with you and allow you to be a victim. Supportive people will lift you up, celebrate with you, and also call you out when you're in the wrong. These people will help you problem solve rather than blame and shame. And if you have those people in your life, you should really offer gratitude towards them. And if you don't, well, seek them out, find them. Okay, fourth powerful action step in cultivating belief in yourself is set small achievable goals and then celebrate the small victories along the way. This is so important. We really got to celebrate ourselves to give us fuel to continue. When we achieve these small goals, it's basically like they're little steps that reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. And most people that do big projects, they break down the project into smaller steps because by breaking down daunting tasks into manageable steps, it allows you to build momentum and confidence as you progress towards your objectives. Okay, finally, and possibly the most crucial aspect of belief in oneself is the ability to embrace failure as a natural part of the journey towards success. Instead of viewing setbacks as evidence of inadequacy, see them as valuable learning opportunities. Every failure contains valuable insights that can inform our future actions and ultimately lead to greater success. I mean, imagine the first automobiles or airplanes. You really want to fly or drive in those? There were endless number of failures, but people just kept reassessing and retrying. And think about rockets. I mean, how many rocket failures were there before we landed on the moon? How many before we sent the rover to Mars? I mean, it's really important to remember that even the most accomplished, and I would say especially the most accomplished individuals, face failure and adversity regularly. What sets them apart is their resilience and determination to persevere in the face of challenges. By reframing failure as a necessary stepping stone on the path to success, we can cultivate a more positive relationship with risk and uncertainty. Okay, so just to recap, how are we going to do this? We're going to cultivate a positive mindset. We're going to be our own best cheerleader. We're going to surround ourselves with positive, supportive people. We're going to make small, achievable goals that we can celebrate regularly. And we're going to reframe failure as a valuable learning opportunity. Believing in ourselves is the foundation of our personal and professional success. It empowers us to pursue our passions, overcome obstacles, and realize our full potential. While cultivating self-belief may require time and effort, the rewards are immeasurable. So go out there and dare to dream big, trust in your abilities, continue to learn and grow, and never underestimate the power of belief in yourself. After all, the only limits that exist are the ones we impose on ourselves. Have a great day, everybody, and good luck on your journey of self-belief.